today. This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're here to present you our NBA morning shoot around for Tuesday, April 2nd. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This week you can watch all of our NBA, MLB, and NFL videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and DraftKings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing out there, bro?
Yo, what up, man?
Hey, today it was a solid day in the NBA. Definitely did good in that. MLB was so and so. There was a lot of teams that went off today. I didn't really expect to go off, but overall, it wasn't a too bad of a day. How'd you do today overall, man?
Man, I knew with all my heart to stack Arizona in this spot, and I just didn't pull the trigger on it, and it just irritates me so much. So that's what happened with MLB. I actually didn't get any entries in for NBA today. I didn't play anything, but I was kind of concentrated on a bigger tournament that I'm maxing in MLB, and then we had a lot of content that's being posted up on the site. So trying to sort through that as well and make sure everybody that's watching and viewing us is getting solid content every day.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, just like Jeremy's talking about, man, and we got a lot of things on the site if you haven't checked it out. Now we got PGA, NASCAR, MMA. We still got NBA, tons of content still for NBA. MLB's rolled in. Did I miss anything? We got a lot right now.
We got NASCAR. That there is 3 articles a week for. We have MMA. There's 2 articles a week for. We have PGA where we do a player pool. We do a tournament breakdown. There's 3 articles for that. So those 3 sports are weekly, and there's plenty of content for that to help you build out a process. PGA is live in the optimizer. We're gonna shoot to get NASCAR live in the optimizer before Sunday's lock. So there's a lot, man. There's a lot. And the MMA stuff, man, if you guys are not playing MMA, UFC stuff, it's every weekend right now. Our writer is phenomenal. This past weekend, 9-4 were his picks on the card. So the guy's at like a 75% clip in his picks, and he picks the entire card, not just the main card. So shout out to Mark Stein. The guy's done a great job on the site. He's producing 2 articles a week. He's going to add a video either this week or next to that, and you'll have 3 solid MMA content pieces. One breaks the card down. He picks every single fight on the card and gives you why and what format the fight is safe for. We've got good stuff, man. We've got really good stuff.
Hey, I need to hear it from somebody else because I'm always saying it. Hey, check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. At least go get yourself a free membership and check out, some of the content that we do have behind the paywall that all you need is just a free membership for. Check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, I'm ready to jump into some basketball. You ready to go?
Let's get it.
All right, man. Hey, first game we're going to jump into, it's going to be the Lakers going into OKC to face the Thunder. This game, we don't have an over-under yet, but we do have OKC favored by 12.5. We know that LeBron, he's done for the season, and, that's really where the Lakers are. So get us started, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy because they've got Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and LeBron James that are out for the season. So you talk about a team that at one time before Christmas, they were the 4 seed and playing very well together, and then just got smashed with injury. So here we are again. You got Kyle Kuzma, and I think that he may be next, man. This may be a guy that they decided to shut down. I could have sworn earlier today, it was a busy day, but I could have sworn earlier today that I saw a tweet from a reporter, a LA Times beat reporter, saying that Kyle Kuzma said he will not play tomorrow. So he's listed as a game time decision. Look for that to clear up sometime around morning shoot around. Reggie Bullock is a game time decision. I would think Bullock is probably closer to playing. But here's what you have with the Lakers, right? You've got a ton of guys that are going to play not a ton of guys. You have limited guys who are going to play a ton of minutes, and it's value. So outside of McGee and Rondo, you start looking at Kentavious Caldwell-Pope price up to $6,000. Look, the opportunity for him to play 30 minutes is there. This is going to be like his days in Detroit. It's a hit or miss situation. It's not a spot I want to take a chance with Pope. He could draw Ferguson or Paul George, both guys really good defenders. You start looking, who are they going to run out here? Alex Caruso at 4.9, maybe viable in tournaments. Mike Muscala, let's see what happens with that. But he's the only other real big that they have right now with Tyson Chandler out. We know JaVale McGee's not a guy that played 35-plus minutes. However, in the last 5, he's averaged 29.6. And look at his price tag, averaging a double-double, and it reflects that. So I don't think this is a good matchup to target Lakers. I think if you're gonna get exposure to Lakers in this spot, it has to be with the value spots. I just don't know what to tell you what to do here. Alex Caruso at 4.9, maybe on a 4-game slate. I could see that. Could get extended run. I think that would hinge on Reggie Bullock and maybe Mike Muscala at 3.9, but I just don't really want to go there either. This is tough.
Yeah, I mean, on the Thunder side, I mean, there are some guys I like, but it's all about if we feel this game could stay close. I mean, the Lakers are.
But I mean, can it?
Huh?
But I mean, can this game stay close?
One thing about it is OKC is one of those teams they just they play down to their opponents and they're not really, sometimes they'll occasionally blow teams out, but they usually play a ton of minutes. I was looking at some of the game cards. They're always every game 36, 37 for the big names. I mean, that is what it is. So I mean, we got to see. I mean, see what happens tomorrow, with the injuries and kind of go from there. If the game stays close, you can look at, Steven Adams, 7,000. He's in play. Grant's in play, 5,600. Both of them are, decent GPP plays. And then you got to look at the obvious two guys, Russell Westbrook, Paul George. Both of them giving you a really solid floor. I think both of them are definitely in play. It's a smaller slate. We're going to have to pay up somewhere. Up-tempo game going against the Lakers. And if, this game does stay close and they play their minutes, then, this is going to be a really, really good, big game for both of them. Both are solid prices. The only other guy I really look at, you can look at Schroeder, 5,000, up-tempo game. This is his kind of game, going against, a young team. And then, we're already banged up. So whenever the starters go out, they're going to be going against no names in the second unit. Schroeder, hey, man, he can have a good little game off the bench at 5,000. You only need 25 for value. He's in play too, but that's about it for me with the Thunder.
I can really see two guys in this entire game that I think would be worth paying for. And Kentavious Caldwell-Pope would be one because he has a really good matchup from a DVP standpoint. But like I say, he could draw the Paul George treatment depending on how this shakes out. If Reggie Bullock is out, I think you can play Pope. On the other side of it, I can get behind the argument for Schroeder. But Steven Adams at 7,000, I think that the Lakers have really struggled against centers. We know that. You can just go back last week to what – your boy Jared Allen did and the stretch of games they had where they were dominated by centers. I think those are the two guys you could look at in this entire game. And these other 3 games have plenty of guys who are relevant and just move on and fade this game.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hey, I'm with you. It's like, yeah, especially if all those guys get ruled out. Moving on, next game we're going to go with is going to be the Atlanta Hawks going into San Antonio to face the Spurs. This game doesn't have an over-under, but San Antonio is favored by 11.5 in this one.
Hey, you know what, dude? I was thinking this just this morning when we were doing the shoot around, and Doncic was a game time decision that you said he was probably going to be ruled out, which he was, right? And I was thinking to myself, I had just seen the highlights of Trae Young hitting the game-winning shot against Milwaukee. That's a huge win for this team. And Milwaukee and Cleveland are two teams right now that they're playing competitive basketball, and they're playing really hard. They don't have a lot to play for, obviously, but they're playing hard. And they go out and they knock off Milwaukee, right? And I'm thinking, if I'm voting for Rookie of the Year, do I want Doncic? I mean, I understand the guy's talent level, but Trae Young is playing his ass off, right? He's not a game time decision every night. The dude, you know where he's at, and he's playing his ass off. So I think you start right there with Atlanta. You go with Trae Young. I think this is a good spot. San Antonio struggled against the point guard position all year long. And I think at 9.1 on this particular slate where you got a Chris Paul and a Steph Curry, who were in the other games, and Russell Westbrook in a play down game, like you said, against the Lakers, I really think that this is a good spot to go ahead and look for 5x plus out of Trae Young. I mean, he's averaging 25 points and 11 assists, 4 rebounds over his last 5 games in 32.6 minutes. I like this play, man. I think that this is a spot they're not going to hide, and they're not going to rest Trae Young. They've already showed that. They're going out and they're trying to knock people off. So I think Trae Young is the number one guy that you target in this spot. Obviously, Alex Len at 5.3, with Aldridge back in the center spot, Jakob Poeltl coming off the bench. It's a weird kind of thing that they've been trying to figure out all year long. Taurean Prince and John Collins obviously are impactful. If they don't play, it opens up Kent Bazemore, DeAndre DeAndre Bembry. And then Kevin Huerter becomes a little bit better of a play than he is already at 4.5 for 29 minutes. So for me, it's Trae Young. These other guys are secondary plays that you could look to play in tournaments. But I think Trae Young is really a safe play in all formats tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Trae Young is trying to steal that Rookie of the Year the last couple games. I mean, the guy's playing well for sure.
I just can't give it to a guy who, no matter what his talent level is, who's a game time decision all the time, right? I mean,
yeah.
I just can't do it, man. I mean, what you answer me this question real quick. What's the difference between Atlanta and Dallas?
I mean, not much of a difference. They're both bottom of the, you know what I mean?
And one guy, they're not putting him in the child seat, dude, with the freaking child locks on and all this crap and saying, oh, we, load management. They're saying, go play your ass off. And he is.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hey, I like Trae Young, man. I'm a fan for sure. He's going to be good. On the Spurs side of things, I mean, if this game can stay competitive, I think it can. Trae Young gets hot. He has a good game here. There's some guys that can make some baskets. On the Spurs, the guys you look at are the usual. Now they got Aldridge back playing at the center. I honestly think that this is the best lineup when they got Rudy Gay in that starting lineup, Aldridge playing at the 5. I mean, I like him there. He's not a guy. I mean, he's not like a guy that's going to get pushed around. He is a power forward that takes jump shots, but he playing at the 5, he pulls defenders away from the basket, gives room for, and some driving lanes for guys like Rudy Gay, DeMar DeRozan, kind of opens up the floor. So I like him there. So I like Aldridge. I like Gay back in the start lineup, 6,500. Anytime Gay is going to give you 28 to 30 minutes, the guy's always a really good play. 40 fantasy point upside easily. DeMar DeRozan, 9,200. I mean, him and Aldridge, they do everything. Both of them are in play. So those are my 3 favorite guys. I really like them a lot. I mean, the guys, Derek White, Forbes, maybe I'm not going to play him, to be honest. It's really just Aldridge, Gay, DeRozan, and then you can always look at a guy like Patty Mills. They give him 20 minutes off the bench every night, 3,500 bare minimum price tag. He can be a guy, as a GPP punt play if it doesn't work out, cool. But he does have upside in a low up tempo game. So that's really where I'm at with the Spurs. I'm just really gonna stick with their main couple guys and just kind of stay there.
So let me just say this real quick. This morning's video was all about the positioning of the East, right? Like there's teams alive still, must-win games, etc. Right? The West is set. Like everybody's already been set. Who's in? And it's about seeding in a couple of spots, right? Utah and the Clippers, and San Antonio and Oklahoma City. So the 7 and 8, who would you rather play, Denver or Golden State?
Denver or who?
Golden State.
Oh, of course, Denver.
So if you're OKC and are you banking on the Warriors winning the 1 seed or Denver?
Hey, well, we're gonna see after tomorrow.
So here's my point, right? I think Atlanta has more to play for in this game than Oklahoma City does, right? Oklahoma City, they're the 8 right now. San Antonio's a 7. I could see, and you look at the 2 games, right? Oklahoma City is going to wax the Lakers tomorrow. I could totally see the Hawks trying to knock these guys to the 8 seed. I could see that.
So you're saying that?
I think this. Look, they're in the playoffs, right? But they're the 7. OKC's the 8. OKC should wax the Lakers tomorrow, right? And everybody knows that Atlanta's got more to play for here. They've got a little narrative.
They're coming to be the spoiler.
Yeah, knock them to the 8 seed, then they got to play Golden State.
I got you. You ready to move on?
Yeah.
Next game we're going with, it is going to be the Houston Rockets going into Sacramento to face the Kings. This game has the 227 over under. Houston's favored by 5 in this one.
So Houston's currently the 4, and they're actually tied for – they're the 4, but by tiebreaker – they're tied with Portland, and they're the 4 by tiebreaker. So another win spot for seeding, right? They would love to get that 3 spot. So, I think that you look historically at James Harden loves to play in Sacramento. He's had some monster games there. 12-4. I would much rather pay up for Harden going against a competitive and young Kings team than I would, Westbrook going against a depleted Lakers team that they should just wax. So I don't mind the pay-up spot here for Harden. I know there's another game we have to get to where there's pay-up spots as well, but I like the spot for Harden and Capella. Chris Paul 8.2 is really cheap as well. I think you could play all 5 starters, yes, including your boy PJ Tucker, because of the fact that Fareed is a game time decision. If Fareed is to get ruled out, you can look at minutes in the 30 plus for PJ Tucker in the spot. A lot of shots, a lot of threes get taken by Sacramento, which means a lot of long rebounding opportunities. They do turn the ball over as well. PJ Tucker can contribute in rebounds and steals. And that's what you need from the guy. Any scoring is really a bonus. That's when he has a 35, 40-point fantasy night. So I think all 5 starters are safe here.
Yeah, for sure. On the King side, I like 4 of their starters. I like Cauley Stein, 6,000. I think he's a very fair price tag. This is an up-tempo game. He's going to be going back and forth with Capella. I mean, I just think the price tag is very fair, and he has a little bit of upside. De'Aaron Fox, 8,800. I like him. He's a guy that's been steady. I honestly think that them two are a little bit more GPP plays. Harrison Barnes, a guy that's 5,000. If you're looking for just a safe cash game play to get you 5x with just maybe 6x upside to get you 30. I mean, he's not going to get you nothing crazy, but he gives you a solid floor. Just to put somebody in there, you can always look for him. Buddy Hield, 7,500. The price tag's up, probably a little bit more of a GPP play, but he definitely is in play. The guy's been on absolute fire. And then looking off the bench, man, you got to look at the young rookie. 7,000, very up-tempo game. I like him in this spot. It's all about the minutes. His minutes have been kind of all over the place a little bit. But when he gets minutes, he definitely has the massive upside. So, we got to kind of see if we get any news out on what's going on with him minutes-wise. And then you look at Bogdanovic, 5,900. They find ways to get these guys 28 to 30 minutes. I mean, even when they come off the bench, that's kind of where they're at. So this is a guy, very fair price tag for him. I like him. I think you could possibly play him in cash. He's going to get right around 30 minutes. Buddy Hield, I think, is a little bit more GPP just because he's 7,500. I'll take the little bit discount. The guy does have some upside in an up-tempo game like this. But I'm not going to look past those guys on the Kings. That's really where I'm at.
I'm just gonna put it to you like this, bro. If you play Willie Cauley-Stein in any lineup tomorrow, just PayPal me the money you were gonna put for that entry, and don't even bother putting the entry in.
Why you say that for?
I mean, look, in 3 games they played this year, he's played 24, 21, and 18 minutes, and he's had 14, 14, and 12 fantasy points. You look at the flip side going against Clint Capella. The guy's had 50, 49, and he missed one of the games. So I would not trust Willie Cauley-Stein as far as I could throw him, and the guy's like 7-1. I probably couldn't throw him very far. So I'm not loading that.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize that they played 3 times already this year. Hey, you got me right there. That's a good one. No, like yeah, he's horrible in the matchup. Never mind. Don't play him.
Capella to me is the play in that spot. Yeah,
think so. For sure. You playing Paul 8.2?
I don't mind Chris Paul in that spot. I just think this is a James Harden game, man. I just do.
Oh, I think right now, Harden, you just play him right now because all his teammates know he's trying to win this MVP. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look, they can theoretically get the 1 seed still, right? I mean, they can theoretically get the 1 seed. They're 3.5 out of the 1 seed. They're not eliminated from the 1 spot. Denver and if Denver wins tomorrow and Houston wins, that puts them 2.5 out with Denver and Golden State tied for first. So it's a big game tomorrow, and I look for Sacramento and Atlanta to be 2 teams that play really hard in spoiler situations. And if Sacramento's going to play hard, you have to like James Harden because that's the guy who's going to go score the basketball. Like you said, there's some MVP narrative behind it as well.
Right, everybody knows he's going for the MVP, so for sure. Moving on, man. Final game of the night. We're going to go with the Denver Nuggets going into Golden State to face the Warriors. This game has a 221.5 over-under. Golden State's favored by 8. And this game has absolute massive implications.
Yeah, it does. I mean, either you become, 2 games back and you're looking at slipping to the 3 if you're Denver, or you win this game and you're tied for the 1. So it's a big spot. I fully expect Jamal Murray to play in this one. It's too big of a game for him not to. I will fade Jokic tomorrow based on Boogie Cousins, and I will load up Mason Plumlee because of the way the rotation sets up with Golden State. You look at who who they roll in the backup role, and it's not usually a center. It's usually a smaller set. So Mason Plumlee thrives in that environment. I will load up Mason Plumlee all day long and fade Jokic at 10-5. That's kind of the risk I'm willing to take tomorrow based off a couple of factors. One, Boogie Cousins. Two, Jokic hasn't had a 40-point game, I don't believe, against the Warriors this year. And I think that you could definitely take a look at Paul Millsap. Problem with Paul Millsap is Draymond Green in this one, right? I just think that Paul Millsap has a better offensive skill set than Draymond does, but Draymond's a much better defender than Paul Millsap is, period. So, Will Barton is the first guy to me that I'm looking to load up at 5.1, Gary Harris at 4.5. If these guys are going to play 27 plus minutes at their price tag in this game, I think you really have to give them considerations. Monte Morris is another guy you could look at, but for me, it's the value guys that I'm looking to get in for Denver. It's Barton, Harris, Plumlee, Monte Morris, and then obviously, for me, I think Jamal Murray is worth the play here.
Yeah, bro. On the Warriors side, you already know. You can play all the starters. They've all been in this matchup for their price tag that they're in right now. That none of them are crazy price. I was kind of a little worried about DeMarcus Cousins. I was like, he's going against Jokic, but he faced him one time this year. 27 minutes, he got 45 fantasy points. That's right, basically what you need for that price tag. So
you have to take one thing into consideration though. He had 6 blocks in that game.
Right. No, I get you for sure. But, I mean, strictly GPP for me, I don't like – honestly, do you like Jokic a lot in this spot? Like, a lot? Like, he's the guy you want to have in your lineup for sure?
No, I want to play Mason Plumlee. I'm being completely honest with you.
No, yeah, Plumlee. Okay, you know me, bro. I play Plumlee a lot. Because like I said, this is both of these guys do bang a little bit. Jokic does take threes, DeMarcus does too, but they both get down low, and they both do get in foul trouble a lot too. So for me, I don't know. Those ones are tough for me. But Draymond, 7,000. You need 35 for value. Fills up the stat sheet. Fair price tag. Curry's playing very well. I legitimately like all of them. Clay, he had a monster game. I think he scored 54 fantasy points, in this spot. And the other one, he scored like 35. I mean, you need 36, 37 for value. Just like you always say about Clay. He's a guy, you just put him in, he's going to get you 35. That's what he gets you, and he has the upside. But outside the starters, I mean, the only other guys I feel you can really look at, Iguodala, if he plays at 4,000, in a big game, he can maybe get a couple extra minutes. It's all about if he plays. But I'm not really looking at nobody else on the bench. I mean, that's really where I'm at. I'm just going to stick with the starters for the Warriors, with Boogie Cousins, the GPP kind of play.
I don't think Boogie's at all. Not one bit.
No? You like him?
Bro, there's only a few guys left that have the old school mentality that just want to fucking embarrass you, and he's one of them.
Okay, so I have a question for you. So do you like Boogie at 8,500 or you like Capella at 9,000?
Capella,
okay. That's what I'm just asking.
It's an easier matchup, bro. It's an easier matchup. And look, here's the thing, right? With Capella, he has a just a distinctive like reach and speed advantage over Willie Cauley-Stein. And then when Bagley comes in the game, he has athletics. I mean, Bagley's really good, but he's not as athletic as Clint Capella is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Where you look at Cousins, right? And I mean, you're right about the banging part, but I just think that this dude wants to embarrass Jokic. I just think he does.
Jokic ain't no push around though.
No, he's not. But I mean, 6 block shots in their last outing kind of speaks to the dog. I mean, bro, you got like DeMarcus Cousins, you got Jimmy Butler who he'll embarrass you.
Draymond.
J.R. Smith before he had the little I didn't know what was going on moment in the finals. That dude, he had some dog in him too. But
don't remind me about that moment, bro.
You know what I'm saying though, right? I mean,
hey bro, we gotta get out of here, man. Hey, so that's all we got for you guys, man. 4 games wrapped up. Hey, like I say, check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. Got a lot of stuff. At least get a free membership. You got nothing to lose. Hey, tomorrow, outside of that, tomorrow we'll be back, with all of our videos. Peace out.